Hello, hello. I'm gonna go test the stream. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Gotta go this way today. I gotta get my OP badge. There we go. If you don't see this, or if that badge doesn't work, just refresh. Oh no, I hear myself. Gotta get out of there. Okay, gotta get rid of that volume. There we go. Yeah, so if the OP badge doesn't work, you might just need to refresh your scene. And if you don't have the screen here, just refresh. Because I put it in like last night, it was simples, and then I have to like change it and put it in. So if you've been in World more than an hour, you'll need to change it up. But welcome. Oh my gosh, today, remember what we said last week? Ooh. Last week I was like, that's the last time we're gonna see the view with nothing there. And then sure enough, look at what happened. The bulldozers came in and they worked really, really fast. They just cleared it and built. Actually, I should put like cranes up there moving around. That would be so cool, like lifting pieces up on the area where I'm still working. I could do that. How quickly could I do that? All right, I need to make sure that I'm not messing anything up because I'm an external monitor. So there's a strong chance I could be messing it up. So there. Good, good. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. Remember when the canteen, when the lighthouse at the cantina was literally the tallest thing that I could see? Now it's like, whoop. It's old. It's got some, some not dry rot, but whatever, I don't know, like some construction issues. It's still good. You could still walk up it, but it is no longer the tallest thing in the distance, which is crazy because I never would have thought that we'd be able to put this behind the cantina. But we did. Yay. And that was a push. That was a push to get this done in like most of it was done in the last 2 weeks. There were other things, but pretty long days right before the event. Oh, I see it's not animating. I've got to I think I forgot to click no, I clicked it and then I didn't deploy it. Um and yeah, the animation. I think I did the colliders, but not that. But look at this. I love that like over here we still have our secret little our getaway. Let's see. Could I make it connect further? Because I can't make the train station connect with the cantina since it's on two different parcels. I could like connect all of it. I could just be like, boom, cantina is part of the CBD Plaza, but then like an OP badge, like this piece of land down here is separate from everything. So I can have an OP badge there because Cantina is still old SDK, not SDK 6, but just older. It's the older version, the way I'm deploying it. So there's still some things I got to figure out. Um, but I think it's nice to have it separate so I can have an event, separate from the others. Oh, I should put my little messages out to the world. Let me spam this out. Where's my home? There it is. All right. Okay. Go. I'm gonna do the fast. Like I've got the camera over here, but I gotta do that to get over there. I hate doing that because it's so fast. So give you a little warning. Dimmy, hello, hello. Put names on. Oh, fancy. I love your pants. Wow. Oh, ho, ho. You got the nice jacket. Look at that. Dripped out. I actually love those pants. Those are so cool. Except they don't look as good. I don't know. Like on they're a little saggy on the ladies. All right. Well, I will wait a moment to get started. Today we're gonna try to vibe code. I mean, like I'm trying. So I was like, what could I do? Like, um, yeah, because like vibe coding or like coding and making stuff work is like so specific. Um, and I only started a few weeks ago, so I am not the expert by any means. Um, but after creating like everything behind us, I had a few people ask if I could do that today, and I avoided it. I avoided it. That I just like I get this weird block where I don't try new things. I really think it's like intimidation, and I don't do it because it's new and it's scary. And it's kind of weird to be like, wow, I can say that about myself, but I don't actually like push past that. So I tried a little bit. I tried it back in October for the hackathon. I made like leaves falling from a tree, but I was like, all right, cool. Didn't really see the need, beyond that. Um, and then I saw the light. And then I saw the light. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, who needs real life when you've got vibe coding? um, joking aside, but it is really powerful. And I think it's important just to, like I always say, it's not a replacement because I don't want to replace 3D modeling. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna run over there. I don't want to replace the things I love. Like, why would I do that? That would be stupid. I love donuts. Why would I be like, wow, I'm gonna eat vegetables now because they're good for my health? No, no, let's not be ridiculous. I'm gonna eat donuts because I like donuts. They're tasty. And just like modeling, I like Blender. I love being in Blender. Oh, I'm like crashing my computer. Um, Hopefully it'll stop. Hopefully it'll catch back up. So why would I stop blendering? Because I love it. Same thing with donuts. I'm not gonna stop eating donuts. I'm not gonna stop doing Blender. I am gonna hope that this is not a hard crash. So, oh, it is. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. I will be right back. Let's see, that looks like it's working. Hopefully. Let's see. Is it working over here? Otherwise, I'll do like a hard restart. Let's see. Quickest way back to the cantina. Click this. Okay. My bad, you guys. My laptop got unplugged. Okay. Can you? Okay, I bet it's working. It looks like it is. That's kind of cool that it keeps you. Okay. Yay. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Well, my laptop got unplugged. So that was like total noob error, you guys. I don't know. I'm new here. I've only done this a while. Thank goodness. Okay. Yep. See, don't be afraid to stream because you could just go do stupid things in front of everybody watching. Okay, I was talking about donuts. I was talking about donuts and broccoli and coding and 3D modeling. And I was basically saying, find out what you love. If you love it, don't replace it with AI. Like, elevate it or something. Like, I love 3D modeling. I love Blender. I love it. Like, there's something about it in my brain. Just like I was an artist, painter, pencil, marker, sculpture, anything. Like, I did a lot of sculpturing, a lot of like resin work. So I love making stuff in 3D because it's basically like sculpting, but you have no mess to clean up after, which is really, really good. Um, so I'm not replacing what I do. I'm not replacing modeling too much with AI. Nothing in this scene was created with AI that you can see. All of these are me. Like everything you can see is me. I modeled it, I animated it. I didn't do I don't need coding to do that. I love animating also. I know I'm a weirdo because like that drone I animated and just have to go through here and like the sign and the fan. I animated all that because I love it. The parts I don't love are like the parts that I don't know how to do. Like I don't know how to do this to make myself a little teacup thing. I don't know how to do this. Like I can't do that. And if I wanted to learn that, that would take a very, very long time to learn how to do this stuff. So for me, that's where AI comes in. That's where I need AI. I don't need it to do the stuff I love. I need it to do the stuff I either hate or that I don't know how to do. Um, and so let me get back as a human form and jump over there. So once I started like vibe coding, and vibe coding is just like if you're coding and you don't know what you're doing, that's like such a simplification. But if you're vibe coding, you're using like AI to create the code, and you are not necessarily the person who knows pretty much anything about code. I just know it's a lot of colored letters and numbers on a black background. That's kind of the extent of it. So today I want to show like from scratch how to do vibe coding because I was intimidated by it. I didn't want to do it because, ugh, I don't know, it's scary. I don't like to do scary things unless it's like walking in the mountains with bears. That's fine, but like vibe coding, no, that's too scary. Okay, so here we go, you guys. Thank you for being here. The OP badge is behind the build. Anything, if you guys want to, what do we got over there? Oh, Vida Katimi, welcome. If you guys want to ask questions, I will try. I will have to jump out of here to test, but not for a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go. uh, I'm gonna go here. Okay, so because vibe coding, it takes a few different things. So Meta Tiger says Tiger Farm is 95% vibe coded. That is awesome. That is awesome. Um, push the right buttons. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is start up the Creator Hub. I'm like, wait, is that what I do to get started? I have to figure it out. I'm gonna start up Creator Hub. There is a scene that we're gonna work with. It's Mewland, so you might recognize it. Um, and it's like the last little part of the CBD Plaza that I would like to build out. All right. So there we go. There we have it. And then, because I have to like remember, once I get in a scene, I like go back and get to it just by opening up cursor. But to start out, if you've never vibe coded, and I didn't want to like skip steps, I want to go through all of it with you. So I just threw buildings on here. You can start with an empty scene. But what you're going to do is hit code, I think. Now I'm like, wait a second. Wait for that to come up. And I'm going to open up cursor. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. There's a lot of different Gemini. Tiger Farm was telling me he uses OpenDCL. You can use ChatGPT for different parts of it. Meshy for your 3D models. Like, it's actually overwhelming when you think about it, and you start comparing the different ones. Like all of these, everybody's got something different going on. The reason I went with cursor is because I believe that's like what we used last year with the vibe coding. And then also, let's see, Newland, there it is. That is what we need to use for the OP badges. So if we want to use OP badges the way that it's set up, we use cursor. So it was kind of like that. My computer also doesn't have a ton of memory. It's kind of getting into like, I mean, I have to be very careful about what I put on it anymore. So there's no reason to, like, I just don't have the room to put more stuff on there. Okay, so here we are in Scary Land. This is what it should look like. I'm just gonna check our feed. Yep. Okay. So this is it. This is like scary, to start with, because it's overwhelming. If I open this stuff up, then I get like all of this stuff. So I'm just gonna walk you through like my honest feel is like that's how I felt. It was scary. It was like, nope, close it down. I'm going back to Blender. Right? So that's okay. Like if you're starting out like that, this is really, if you vibe coded, you're already ahead of me. Like I'm gonna try to explain this in a way that's just for absolute new users. So I have to think about what I want it to do. And I think that that's like the hard part, just to get started. But what I want to do is go back to my build, and you guys know what I like doing, using as like placeholders. I use the pumpkin. I first of all do love pumpkins. I grew a giant pumpkin once, and I have like a love for pumpkins. Also, when I go through my scenes and I look at what kind of assets I have, if I try to clean it up and I see a pumpkin, I know that is garbage. Unless I'm like at Halloween time, I'm going to be cooked, guys. I'm going to have to actually think about it. But right now, I know there's no reason to have a pumpkin here except it shows me the chords that I can go use then. So like right now, it's easy. It's 19, 0, 38. But guys, I'm just going to take a picture with my phone, and because you know what? I'm not going to remember those when I go into the other page. So I want to put something here. I want to maybe say something. Like on my scene, I had something that said like, welcome. Um, so I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to say, I'm just going to like talk to it. Can you put a sign? No, a sign. If I put a sign, that's pretty open and broad. So can you put font at these chords? I'm going to put them at the end that say welcome to Mewland, and I want the font to be purple and black with, no, not purple and black, because that could be confusing, but purple with a black outline. So I think giving very clear instructions, because if I say it's purple and black, well, that could be stripes, that could be polka dot, it could be like ombre. I haven't played around with the font too much, just I know it can like do this. Maybe it could do an ombre, like that'd be pretty. All right, welcome to Newland, and I want the font to be purple with a black outline, and rotate to always face the viewer. Okay, now I'm going to do the chords. It was X19, Y0, and Z, what? Z38. Okay. Boom. This is when you drink your coffee, you check your crypto portfolio, you go click some animals at Tiger Farm. This part can take a little bit of time, depending on what you're doing. It also depends on the AI that you're using. I compared this, like mine, with the AI the old guy uses, and so it was really interesting. Like, his was way quicker, but at the end he had like 69 errors to correct. So then it had to go through. This one doesn't have, like, I've never had an error. I've never had it tell me there's an error. I've had errors, but it just like keeps them secret until I try to deploy. But this, so it takes a little bit longer, and but it's pretty accurate by the time it's done. It's also going to ask me for permission, like as we go through. So what it's doing now is checking like the SDK, all the documentation. So right now, as Foundation is creating stuff, as Regenesis Labs is creating stuff, it is vital that they have good documentation, because as people are using AI, that's where this is going to look. So if it's wrong in the documentation, I can't make something. So I realize now like how important sorry, I can't speak, how important that is. Okay, right there, that was a little thing that I got a hit to run, so it's going to ask me a few times, and make suggestions of what it might be. I would love to have a challenge where we all try to build the same thing, but we build it with our different AIs. This is also the paid version of Cursor. I was using the unpaid, um, and then I got hooked. So now I need it. I need my Cursor. It's so I think $20 a month, which now that I've seen what I can do with it, it's worth it. Okay, so there we go. Welcome to Mewland. When it does this, like, it's not checking anymore. There's not like an aha at the end, but just kind of when it gives you this bold font, then you know you are done. And I want to go check it because I can't see it right here. I'm gonna have to jump out here. Okay, I'm just gonna check anything. I don't want to. Yeah, you have to be polite to the machines. I have already told the machine that I am willing. I love AI so much. I'm like, I don't know. Take me first. There was no resistance. I will try to bring my donuts with, but take me first. Okay, so it's going to take a second to close out of that, but then I'm going to jump into preview. When I'm working, I usually always have the preview open. It's a live update. So like in the past, you would close preview, you'd ship your your change, and then you'd have to open it and launch it again to see any changes. It's so nice now that it's not like that. I'm opening it right now. Ooh, where'd my memory go? It's just like IRL. I get these notices that I don't have any memory left. Here it's that pop up. In the real world, it's my kids telling me that I don't have memory. So there we go. Now, hopefully, Hopefully I see a pumpkin and a welcome sign. Where is it? Ah, okay, there it is. So it did exactly what I said it should do. Um, and there, I think like my background in working with individuals with, diverse neurological talents and challenges, this is literally called task analysis, where you break down a task to like maybe 25 smaller steps. So it did exactly what I said it should do. It put it right here. Did I think about it? Did I think about like, the point is right here? No, but that's okay because now I can go. My pumpkin I don't need. I can delete that. And then I can just say to cursor, hey, it's too low. And I can, let's be funny with it. Can you move it up 3 feet? I'm going to say 3 feet because that doesn't make any sense in Decentraland, right? Like they're pixels. They should be XY coordinates. But I want to like show you that you don't have to be perfect because this thing is pretty smart. It's already saying, it's like, oh, you American, 3 feet equals roughly 0.91 meters since 1 unit is 1 meter. So now it's doing all the tricky thinking work. Like it would probably be smarter to just, use actual, I don't know, chords. But still, some of this, like, you kind of have to eyeball it unless you know exactly, like, where you're going to put it in. Oh, this is still closed. Sorry, I'm going to make sure that closes down. It doesn't want to close Decentraland on me. Okay, and you can see, so then your scene's going to, like, go blank. Ah, there it is. Okay, because it was automatically updating. So 3 feet, that's what it thinks 3 feet is. And then it follows me. Ooh, I should have put a parentheses, but it follows me, and I could do like, I can make it bigger. Let's say, can you make it humongous? Oh, how about giant? Let's just say giant. I don't want to have to spell humongous. Um, so you can put in really vague terms like this, like this poor AI, it doesn't know what Kness's version of giant is, but it's like, okay, let's go. It'll try to think of it. Like when I have put font in before, usually it puts it in super big. But then this is really important. Bumped the text size from 3 to 20 and thickened the outline to 0.0, like 0.3. So when I go, like 3 was where I was at, 20 is what it's at now. It's nice because now I can be like, oh, no, I needed it like at a 10. Um, There we go. All right. Welcome to Mulan. So let's see. Let's have it smaller. Let's make it 10. Can you make it size 10 and clickable? When I click it, can you have sparks fly off of it? Now, I did not add any GLB or any kind of like model for the sparks. I could be like, hey, I made this animation. This is what I want. Like I could have, a really cool Blender firework. I could put that in and say, hey, I want you to use like to make this thing animate when you click on it. I don't know what these are going to look like. Like that's the downside of using, like allowing this to make that up, to decide how to do that. And then it has to see, okay, I'll look up how pointer clicks and particle spark effects work in this Decentraland SDK project. So the more you vibe code, I think the more you understand what's out there, what's possible. Like I already know that you can do particles. I know that you can do clickable objects. I know that I could put a sound effect to it. So I would say like do as much as you can, even if it's on a fake project, um, because it's going to show you where, like, what's possible and where to find it. Like it can use like keys 1 through 4 for like admin tooling, but not 5 because that's not in the documentation. So it's really funny because like you could override it and be like, yes, I want to program the key 5 to do something special, um, but it's already in there as like 4, 1 through 4. Uh, so it's kind of interesting, just like changing your project around those those parameters. So we should see it soon. It'll like all go blank and then it'll change. One thing about vibe coding, like at least other programs might be different. Like old guy said, his is quicker. Um, there's a reason I think people are like vibe code and chill because you do chill a lot. You like here. I don't want to look away because it might need my permission, but it does take some time just to sit here and just to chill and wait and wait and wait. So a lot of times I'll like I have my dual monitor. You could be doing something on a different monitor. Um, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like it forces you to go do something else. Oh, it's doing something. Found 4 errors. Ooh. I think the more that you ask it to do something, like bring in something else, I think the more complicated it's going to be. Like a lot of what I've brought in has just been my own Blender animations that I made. So it's super easy. And like if there's sound effects, every sound effect on the scene, that's a sound effect I brought in from an external source. And so I think it's quicker and it just works really seamlessly if you just do it yourself. But this is going to be cool. Like I don't know. The spaceship, if you go shoot the spaceship, that was something that I did not that I let this code do, and it worked better than I thought. I did the sound effect for it, but once I saw that it would shoot, because I was like, make a spaceship, then make it flyable, and then give me a you know. I did the overlay. All right, here we go. Font size to 10, clickable. Click for sparks. Sparks on click. Ooh, let's see. That's gonna be pretty. Oh, it got big. Okay. It's gone. Sometimes font, it'll be like on a oh, what's the word? It'll be like on a transparent background, so sometimes you can't see it. But look, let's see. Click for sparks. Ooh, that's cute. Ah. Okay, so then this is pretty typical. I can't see the font, and I click the sparks. So you have to, say it exactly what it is. Like, okay, I can't. Now I'm gonna go back here. I can't see. I can't see the font. I did see it for a split second, but I'm gonna say I can't see the text, and I can't click on the sparks after the first time. And then I like to say, like, what do I want it to do? I'm like, this is observational. Now I'm going to give it a directive. Um, make it so the font stays visible and I can click on the sparks uh, as many times as I need. So I think like going back and refining it is something also that you've just got to do a bunch of times. Like, because it'll. So there was a story once about a friend of mine who told her daughter you could literally a donut. You could have this donut if you can jump 1 foot, jump on 1 foot, and she. No, I think my friend was thinking that she would jump forward 1 foot, but the little girl, she just stood on 1 foot and jumped in the air. And I'm like, well, she met your instructions. And so I think we have to like be really careful about what we're saying because so I had like headlights on a car. I wanted to put headlights on the car. Well, it did. It put them sideways on the car. I'm like, it did exactly what I wanted. So then you have to be careful and be like, I want headlights on the front of the car. But of course, since it's a GLB, not an actual car, AI is like, okay, like it doesn't know where the front or the back is. So you have to start, like, stop talking in kind of abstract terms like that and start talking in very concrete. Like, I want the headlights at X48 0 12 Y15. Um, so it'll tell you what's happening too. The text likely broke because scale was applied to the text shape entity for the click collider, and burst replay probably fails when stop play run in the same frame, separating the collider from the text and spawning a fresh particle burst on each click. I like cursor because it'll tell you what happened, and I think, like, I could just go over there and it probably works, but I've noticed the more that I read this, I think the better I'm getting at understanding like coding. Like, the text entity had a large scale applied for the click hitbox, which broke test shape rendering. The text is back to normal scale. Clicking uses a separate invisible child collider. Sparks only once. Toggling the same particle system stop play in one frame doesn't reliably re-trigger bursts. Each click now spawns a fresh spark burst and cleans it up after the second, so you can click as many times as you want. All right, so let's go take a look. I see the font. I see the text. It is so far so good, and I can click it. Yay! Woohoo! Oh gosh, that's cool. Just wait until Sinful sees this. Look at the colors it used too. It, it must be a UW Huskies fan. It used purple and yellow, which are great combinations. So I should be like, hey, great job on that color, because they really stand out. Okay, so welcome to Mewland. Now I want to keep going because now I have something to work with. I have a thing, the font, and I have a click. I have the ability to click on it. So I can click on it for sparks. But I want to go up there. I want to go up there. And like on this scene, I have no good way to get up there. Um, but actually I should say welcome to Mewland, and then like that should just have that. Okay. All right. So let's I'm like, oh, I should change it. Okay. So I'm going to compliment AI. Great. That's what I wanted. Now, can you duplicate this? Let's say 5 feet away, and have the new one say click to teleport. Okay. Um, I could keep going. What I'm gonna have this do is like you click on it, it teleports you to the top of the building. But like one thing my brain wants to do is like slow it down. Like, I worked with students with special needs for 10 years. I learned how to talk slower and to not over direct. Like, literally, the more amplified the room gets, the slower I'm gonna talk. Less words. That's that's how you avoid like disasters. Because my students, they would act out, they would hit and kick and throw chairs if they were overwhelmed. And generally, what I saw a lot of times in that field is new teachers come in and they give the students so many directions. They'll be like, Chase, it's time to go home. Your dad's picking you up. He doesn't have the car today. He has the truck. Get your backpack and make sure you put your lunch inside. But at lunch today, you left your jacket down there. So make sure you get your jacket too. Like, the, we're already done saying all that. The student is processing, it's time to get picked up. He's thinking, okay, that's the end of the day. I'm getting picked up. It must be 3 o'clock. He didn't catch all the stuff about his dad. He didn't catch anything about his lunchbox. He didn't catch anything about the rest of it. So I find, works very much the same. I could have overloaded it and been like, I need a sign, I need a teleport, I need it to go to this spot, this. And that is when I have found the most errors, when I start doing that and like putting too many instructions onto this prompt. So I'm like, more and more, I'm doing one prompt at a time. Like make this isn't as this one was actually a few. I want you to duplicate the sign. I want you to change the location. I want you to do this. So there we go. And it okay. It moved it 5 feet away. So I might need to be a little bit more concise. Let's go to Mr. Pumpkin. Mr. Pumpkin. All right. So 1975-48. Can you put this at 1975? XYZ 48. Let's see. There's other, there's probably other ways to do it. I know a good friend has like a script to tell you where it is on scene. So that's what happens when it's changing it. There we go. Okay, perfect. For me, this works. I kind of like the pumpkin thing. Like I don't know. It's just sue me. I love Curcubitus. That's the scientific nomenclature for pumpkins. All right, so teleport. Whoa, it literally teleported me. I did not tell it to teleport. I didn't tell you to do that, AI. What did you do? Wait, let's see. Teleport. Click to teleport. Moves you to the scene center, facing the welcome sign. Okay, that is cute. AI wants to help me. Thank you. Thank you so much, AI. I wasn't ready to tell you where to teleport me to, but that's really cute. Thank you. Okay, so now, pumpkin. Let's do, well, I could also do the spawn point, but I don't know, like, I think it's actually easier. So I could take Mr. Pumpkin and I could go like this, right? Oop, there's the top of the scene. So when Pumpkin turns yellow, he's a dead fellow. I don't want to put him right on the top because then like it gets weird. Okay, so Pumpkin is right there. These are the chords. I could also take the spawn area, which is really nice that they give you, this is something new and I love it. But I don't want the spawn area to be up here. I want people to spawn in, like at least right now, just for the sake of like this scene. I don't want people to spawn in here. I want them to spawn in at the bottom and be able to teleport up. But I want to show you, like, these are two ways to get to it. I could say, hey, AI, when clicked, you teleport to spawn area. But I want people to spawn in at the bottom. Like, you really, think about like your scene, where people are going, this and that. So now, one way to do it is to say teleport to these chords. I could also go, what I did a lot in the big build is to use a trigger area. And I can just leave that there, which is kind of nice because then, let's say I want to adjust this. I hope I'm not going too far. I hope I'm not like losing anybody. If I want to put the chords into the code and kind of just set them and forget them, I could, obviously not, but like figure out those chords and just tell it exactly where to go. But let's do that. If I want to be able to move it in the future, I could leave the trigger area. It still tells me where these chords are. But let's say I move my building around and all of a sudden, instead of having like my building is right here and I want you to jump to the top of it. And this happens a lot, like where you're like, oh snap, I can't have it there. I have to move it, 10 feet to the side. Well, then all I have to do is come in here and move my trigger area. So there's, kind of pros and cons of doing it both ways. But for this, I'm going to use the trigger area because these things will get you everywhere. I should show you what the scene looks like, actually. Um, Here, I'll go out on Muland. I'll show you what the big scene looks like because I got a few trigger areas, and then I'll show you how long it takes to actually like load it up. Because this puppy is a big file. It's a little slow. It's and you can see the insanity of like building on such an irregular shape. That's what it looks like. So my brain was cooked. I took I took Sunday and then like well pretty much Monday off too. Um, so I'll let it load. I won't be nutty and try to push it around because it takes a second. It's loading the floor. It loads everything. Um, and you can't see much from over here, but you can see. Okay, so like this is like spoiler alert. You can see a lot of the magic behind the scenes. Um, this is like Wizard of Oz when you can see behind the green curtain. So you can see my wind tunnels that I can use. You can see secret areas that otherwise you might not be able to see. And it's still loading, so I'm just gonna wait. But right here, you can see one of those little trigger boxes. Can't click on it. This. So I'll show you as soon as it's done loading. This is the tram by the cantina. And I wanted people to be able to get to that because it's still a work in progress. Big time work in progress. Here, this is what it looks like, you guys. These are all the trigger areas. Walk in there, and there's a trigger area. This guy controls the lights. Trigger area. Trigger. Every single box does something. Nice and quiet in there, but there's a little teleport right there. And then over here in the store, good luck, you can't even get inside. And then right here, this is what gives you the ability to click on it. This blue box clicks, and then that teleports you. And then these are the lights that are shining on it. So for the tram, if I go and I click that, I've programmed it so that you end up right up here at that box. So that's how useful these are. Like you can also do stuff in, like in stuff, if I click on that, it's going to bring up all of these. But for me, I find it really useful just to be able to tell, AI where to go. There's your sneak peek. So if you click on the spaceship, you land up there. There's the wind tunnels. Ha ha ha. So now you guys know where to go trigger those. All right, so let's go back into Mewland. Do some fun stuff. So I've got this up here. It matters. I mean, I'm on like 40 trigger areas, so I've got like trigger area number 40. But for this, it's just the first trigger area. So you got to know, like what you're gonna call it. So now when get down here, okay, when you click to teleport, please move player to trigger area. I like using quotes. Like I think it helps to tell it exactly what it is, because the more you put on your scene, the more you're going to be like, please move like heli animation number 7 to blah blah blah. And it's naming conventions are really important. Like make sure that you tell it what to do. Now this is also where you can be like, you can, instead of just teleporting, because teleporting is awesome, guys. We don't have that in real life. At least I haven't found it yet. Like, and so we should really make it a fun experience. So by adding like on a few of the teleports, I have the screen fade and then fade away and fade back again. And then I try to do sound. I love sounds, you guys. I've discovered what I want to be when I grow up. And it's like the person who puts all the sounds in the scene. Like it might be a Foley artist, I don't know. But I freaking love the sound stuff. Um, okay, so let's go take a look. Click to teleport. Boom. Oh no, you didn't do what I wanted. Let's see. Sparks, yay. Click to teleport. Okay, so let's see what it thinks it did. All right, click to teleport now moves the player to the trigger area entity placed in the scene editor. It looks up that entity by name at runtime. So if you move the trigger area in the editor, that teleport destination updates. So now I say that didn't work. And then I give details. It put me back at the spawn point. I don't know, maybe other AIs would be different, but like there's always something. There's always something. And it'll find what caused it. And it's probably because it already had that programmed into it to take me back to the spawn point. One thing I'm really realizing is the fewer times you have to fix stuff, the less chance there is of breaking. It's it's probably like an old car, you know, like as long as you never take it to the shop and you keep putting oil in it and transmission fluid, it won't break. It'll run forever. But the second you take it to the shop and somebody calibrates that thing, now you're going to be in the shop every 3 months. So, um, I last night I was like trying to update something. So I made like for this other little game experience I'm doing, I made some animations, really cute GLBs, but not cute enough, and they didn't quite match with the sound. It was like half a second off, but that half a second made a difference. And so I went in and I tried to just replace the GLB. So like 2 hours later, it works. But I had to, it went in and then the sound didn't work. So I was like, okay, because the sound was still attached to the original GLB. So I did that and then it didn't click. Like, didn't, when you want, it only clicked once. Because then yeah, whatever, it had issues. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need to not do placeholder stuff like, oh, I'm just going to put this animation in until it's time to use it. No, no, no. Just try not to deploy anything until you really think this is what you want. Because it'll like mess it up. But a lot of times it's just like reading it from the wrong file or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Man, last night I had a UI overlay on the top of the screen. And I was like, can you just remove the layer of white around that? Because it wasn't like a super clean one. Like literally 15 minutes later, we got it. And I was like, this would have been so much easier if I would have just like removed the background on my phone and done it right the first time. So try to do it right the first time because this is the kind of stuff that like gets really confusing. Also, sometimes it doesn't look. I have to keep talking because otherwise this is going to be like silence as it's thinking. Um, Sometimes this is the kind of stuff that just like takes forever. And it's like I had something really good yesterday or like 2 days ago. It looked perfect. And then I edited it to change and I have not been able to fix it and get it like that again. So it's like, come on, AI. And I have not found a good way to revert on here. Old guy is a reverter. He's got great ability to revert what he's done. Me, not so much. But I do think this is how you learn, especially reading this. Okay, the teleport was using the wrong move player to options. Creator Hub's trigger areas use avatar target, where you face, not camera target. A failed move can also send you back to spawn. The teleport now matches how Creator Hub handles move player here on trigger issues, and if move player 2 still fails, it falls back to placing your avatar in the trigger area directly. Try clicking click to teleport again. You should land at the trigger area. If it still misbehaves, open the browser console and check for that. Okay, well, let's see what it does. Oh, it does. Um, hmm. Sparks. Click to teleport. Okay. So let's see. Trigger area not found. I'm wondering if it's the way the verbiage that I used. Um, because I did say move player and it chose move player. Uh, how about when I click the sign teleport player? Is that what it says? Teleport player? Uh, click to teleport. Okay. Click. Can you teleport the avatar to trigger area? And then I'm also going to add remove any existing code on moving the player. I'm wondering if the original code, when I was like, when I like that, the code that it volunteered on its own, when I said click to teleport and it like automatically teleported me to the beginning, that might still be in there. And I think that like, um, that's the kind of stuff I think that messes you up is like when there's a little snippet, a little bit left over, and the more that you, it's like painting. Once you put the paint on your painting, you can never get that back. Like if I could revert this, yes. In theory, however, like yesterday I was trying to revert stuff and it did not. So let's see what this does. Yeah, it still puts me there. All right. Okay. Clean up the old player move code. Cache entity falls back. Wrapper start check. Clicking. Click teleport. Finds a trigger area entity by name. In the scene entity. Teleports the avatar to its position. It's still not working. And then I'm going to do a frowny face. Because I want it to know that I'm starting to get sad. I literally just talked to this thing. It's not working and I don't know what to do and I'm feeling highly emotional right now. Actually, I haven't talked to Cursor like that. Chat GPT, yes. I've if you do that, Chat GPT is like, let me slow this down. Let me slow this way down. I'm like, yes, that's what I need. I need a little bit of kindness. Um so vibe coding is like fun, but you have to want to solve problems. Like you can't do this if you're not a problem solver. Like I'm sorry, that's just like it's uh it's gonna be way too frustrating. I used to have a container in my classroom because I got a grant to get a 3D printer for my classroom. So my students and I were 3D printing. But I put a quote on that. And that was where we put all of our failed prints, which it was like 90% fail rate, at the beginning. Because I was like, second project in doing like an Iron Man mask, which is insane. Don't do that. But I had a sign that said, we learn more from failure than we do from success. So like every single piece of the 3D printed fails in that bucket, I could tell you what I learned from that. Like, oh, of course a giant Iron Man mask doesn't work. The further away you get from the center, the cooler it is. So it starts warping because it pulls up from the sides and it's not heated all the same or, like clogged printer filament or, a number of things. Um, so yeah, even this, as painful as it is, I think that we're all going to learn a ton, whether we want to or not, from all of this. We're going to learn patience. That's for sure. And it is funny because like this worked first time on my build. All right, timing. The trigger area lives in the scene composite and may not exist when first runs, so the lookup could fail silently. Wrong API. Hand rolled move player 2 calls don't always behave like creator hubs built in move player here on trigger areas. So since we're making this in AI, it's gonna behave differently. The fix uses Creator Hub's own move player here action on the trigger area entity, same path as the editor, and waits until the entity is loaded before wiring the sign. Click it again. All right, let's see. Moment of truth. Ah, you scallywag. No. Okay. Tell me what happens if I click it again. What is it? All right. An entity named exactly trigger area exists in the scene. It's placed where you want players to arrive. Yes. Okay. I have both of those things. I'm wondering if it's too high also, but it's within the bounds. So I think that's okay. The cool thing about this though, like I know this is a pain in the butt and you guys watching probably are like, wow, just watch her fail over and over again. She won't stop talking. Um, Once you get this to work, you can teleport people anywhere. So like that's pretty darn cool. In the scene that I just made, if you walk into the teleport booth, I got you like teleporting up in the air. If you walk into no, the prop booth is different. If you click on any of the icons, like if you want to go fly the helicopter, it moves you up there. If you want to fly the tram, it moves you there. And so I think that's really cool and important to move people around the scene. Um, okay, let's see if this works. Faster. No. Okay. I have patience, but I am out of patience. Where's my pumpkin? Where's my damn pumpkin? Come on, Jimmy. Get up here. We're gonna prove pumpkin usage is the best. We're gonna prove it, you guys. Pumpkins are superior for coding than any other thing. Maybe this was a test. This was like all a test, and I just want to prove that pumpkins are okay. All right. Um, do I want to remove that? Let's see. I don't like the code is in there, so now I have to think. Let's just be like actually, I've changed my mind. When players click click to teleport, move them to these chords. X 7.55 Y XY 75.25 C. If this works, I'm gonna be so like, see, I told you the pumpkin was the best. The thing is, if you do this and you don't remove the pumpkin, you'll land on the pumpkin. So many times I'm like, why did I? Oh, okay, because pumpkin's still in the scene. All right. No, what the heck? Okay. AI, you're killing me. You're killing me. No, it didn't move me. All right, I'll just leave it there. It probably just needs to go through. Like we've been sitting here for 20 minutes adding code to this thing. So there's probably like little things in there it's got to override. And I would say it usually like it's logical. When I'm done, I don't feel like, wow, you're this thing is stupid. Why didn't it figure it out? Like there's usually some logic in there that like there's a reason why it did that. But I want to get to the point where I can fade the teleport in and out because I think that's cool too. Um, but I would say if you're like we're at 10:02, so this is an hour, and you can see how quickly we made the sign. The sign was pretty easy. It's this like problem solving that takes the time. So give yourself enough time to sit there and like troubleshoot. Like, what is it? Why is it doing this? All right, so let's see. What if I can't do it? I'm gonna be like, no. Crash out, chat. I'm putting the fries in the bag. I'm crashing out. What is it? Why? Okay. Um, teleport probably. With sparks there. I didn't tell it to put sparks there. Okay, wait. Let's see. It says there's sparks. Let's see what happens. There's sparks above. No. Um, I don't see sparks, and it puts me back at spawn. I want to be teleported to 75.25. I know I already told it this. Okay, so sometimes it'll ask you what it sees. And I think that's a really good idea because it'll be like, tell me if you see this or tell me if you hear this. Because if you hear, like I haven't added any sound, but if I did add sound effects, sometimes it'll be like, tell me if you hear the sound effect. Because if you can hear the sound effect, that means that we're talking to the, API. Um, so I think that's a good way for to tell this, like what, I don't know, background of like where's the failed data point. This is way harder than I think it should have been because, like I said, this worked first time on my other builds. And I'm wondering if even the verbiage, like I asked it to move player, maybe what I should have said is teleport the player. Um, because it might be searching the documentation differently, like teleport player versus move player, because like you're not supposed to move players, in Decentraland. You can't move somebody, but you can teleport them. So like, do you know? So no sparks means the click handler likely never reaches the spawn 5 sparks. So I'll trace the full click path and try a more reliable teleport approach. It could be those sparks that are like screwing this up. Maybe I shouldn't have put sparks. All right, sparks were only spawning at the destination high above, so you wouldn't see them if the teleport failed. Fixing that, deferring the teleport to the next frame. So move player runs reliably. So once you've got this done, then don't lose that code. So now, all right. Sparks at the sign as soon as you click. Let's see. Did it register? Nope. But let's see, any sparks at the beginning. So maybe because I made this first sign and it has these sparks, and then I was like, duplicate it, make this one, and now it's got like different, I don't know, some kind of different, like telling it what to do. It's stupid that it doesn't work. And I want to make it work now. I want, okay, so let's see. Try again. You should see sparks on the side when you click. If you still end up at spawn, when you enter the scene, approve the move player inside. If it's prompted. No, it's not prompted. Run, empty build, preview again. So the latest code is loaded. If it still fails after that, tell me whether you see sparks on the side when you click. That tells us if the problem is the click or the teleport itself. I see sparks on the welcome to Mewland sign. I do not see sparks on the click to teleport sign there. I was gonna say I don't need sparks, but I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'm not even gonna like start telling it to remove the sparks because they'd be like, okay, removing all of that. We'll just see what happens. Okay, sign might also fail. Initiate property. Overlapping colliders. Nope. So I'm trying to read this just to kind of get an idea. This is like telling what it's looking for. Teleport sign clicks likely miss because the hitbox is a thin, non-billboard box. Geometry at Z48 may block it, making the click area a larger sphere and adding explicit pointer events. So sometimes it does a really good job of like, hey, it's not going to work because this thing is too small. I'm going to make this hitbox bigger, or um, it's definitely intuitive. Like it'll fill it with the smart things it needs to do, even like sound, audio, like things like that, because you can also like attach, a teleport to a sound. You could be like, like last night I was trying to make a specific thing happen 5 seconds after a sound began, which, or like, that's how I did it. Yeah, I was like, oh, I should not tie multiple um events to sounds. Okay, so the teleport sign wasn't registering. The hitbox was a very thin box. It's easy to miss, especially with the scene geometry around Z48. What changed? Sphere click area instead of a thin box. Easier to hit from any angle. Larger hit zone on the teleport sign. Pointer events component added, so Decentraland treats it as clickable. Max click distance increased to 50 meters. Run. Try again. All right. Should we try it again? I'm scared, guys. Oh, but I didn't start at the end, so that's I don't know. Nope. And no clicks. So let's try something different because I can see this is the teleport. Like I'm looking at where does the teleport stop? This was such a bad example, you guys. Literally, we could have just this is the point I think where you're like, wow, I I should have just put a click box and then like an event that when I clicked here, I moved there. So let's do that. Let's retrain it. Let's try one more time. I have a different idea. when player clicks, what was that? Click area. Click. I just got to make sure it's right. My brain can't remember. Click area. Yep, click area. Okay. Click area. Have them to, what were our chords? I'm not gonna assume that it knows. I'm gonna tell it again. X 7.55. Y. There. We'll give this a shot. This is actually how I did those other like click on like to move up to the tram. So maybe it just yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Because some of it I have it like if you excuse me, if you enter the trigger area, it moves you. That's how I did all the teleport stations in the city that take you to up in the air. But I do like the ability just to click on something because sometimes you might not want to like move. You might want to just walk around until like clicking on it definitely moves you. And like I said, this is easy. I've done it like a bunch of times, so I don't know why it was hard today. Probably because I was doing this publicly. Nobody and nobody's watching when it's just me in my little blender world and everything works fine and then I go and do it publicly and then it doesn't work. Thank you, AI. Thank you. Okay. Now let's see. Remove the click to teleport text sign. I didn't tell it to do that. Come on. Clicking your scene's click area entity. Now teleports us there. Okay. Yes. Welcome to Mewland is not changed. That's good. So I didn't it's kind of invisible unless it automatically added to it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put something in it so I know for sure where I am. Okay, so like the that is right next to this guy. So, because I'm wondering if it tied it to the teleport and it's not refreshing the scene. That's the other thing. Sometimes I think you just need to refresh the scene because it's not seeing that. All right, I'm gonna try to reload, but it might need like a full reload. A lot of times, like if you get this where you don't see anything, just reload it. Um, Also, something weird that happened after doing this with like Dr. Drip's car and trying so hard multiple times, like walking away from it, totally frustrated. Ah. And then last night, Sinful's like, I love the way this looks. I'm like, wait, I can't see it. Like, you're saying that you can see what I wanted it to look like, but I can't see that. Um, which side am I on? Okay, there we go. All right, so there should be a clicker. There we go. So sometimes just like restart it. I think maybe it's hard to constantly feed code and maybe some things aren't getting like redone. So there it goes. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The trigger to pumpkin works. So that was like I could just add the sign now. At least it works. Oh, no collider. Whew. Okay, so I click and I'm instantly there. So now I want to make it fancy. I'm gonna compliment it. Great. that finally worked. Can we have, can you, I say we like we're a team, but it's really you. Can you please make it a slower fade and fade to purple? So let's make it pretty. Because it's kind of cool when you when like I don't know. I think my teleports are cool when it's like fades you out, fades you back in, and then the um telephone booth by the store. If you're like a prop and you want to unprop yourself, go into that, and then it like has this like creepy like morphing flesh sound, and then I had it green, and then I added lights to the green to like really drive home the fact that you're like it's creepy. And you could add a sound right here. Like you could get like a stock sound or have like, AI create a little jingle and you can add that to this too. I don't know if that would show up like if I did a sound right now. Like maybe I could hear it, but I'm not sure that you could. This is also where you could put UI like overlays. So like, welcome to the scene. You want to have it like, welcome to Mewland. And you could have it show up on the scene, like, and say, I want it to say, welcome to Mewland for 5 seconds after the player gets to the scene. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oops, wrong screen. Okay, click. Fade to purple. Nice. That's so much better. The fast fades are too, maybe I'm old, but it's too fast for my feeble brain to register that like, oh, I'm in the air. But this is like, okay, I'm going somewhere. Oh, I'm in the air. I should stop. I don't know, Sinful. Hopefully you're watching. That's a pretty cool color. So sparks, yay! And then I could even say like, have the word teleporting on that. All right, one more thing, and then I think we're done for the day because we're good on time. Say I want. So this is a good one. That, somebody else is like, how did you do this? So I want to keep the build private while I test. Can you make it so that a person needs a password to get in? Make the password. There we go. So the documentation does have this cool, the programming in it to token gate like your site, your scene. So you can make it so that nobody can get in. There's ways around it. Don't There are ways around it. I'm not going to tell you how, but it will just make it like the casual person coming through is going to have a little bit harder time. They're probably going to get there and be like, oh, okay. You could even be like under construction, have a construction page and be like, coming soon. But it's annoying. I had this on all my scenes. It's annoying to test. Don't use it while you're testing. Like, use it when you deploy, but then like get rid of that because it's like over and over and over again. You're like typing it in. But these are the things like so like these are the things you can't replicate with like I can't do this on Blender. I can't like make it password enforced on Blender. I have to use coding. Um So yeah, like I said at the beginning, use like AI for these moments when you can't do these other things. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I can see it. I can see it. Okay, so let's see, password. Okay, but I can still see it. Like if I go off of the property, is it gonna let me? Yeah, it's gonna let me back on. Okay. So I could still see the background. Can you make it a solid purple background with cats on the password page? I don't know what it's gonna do. Let's see what it's gonna come up with. But yeah, make it a solid out, like solid. If you want to keep it totally private, make it something that people can't see through. Ooh, checking the password UI and available cat assets in the project. Oh, it says a row of cat emojis is gonna sit there. What? I want to see the cat emojis. I think then like the more silly, the more of like the more crazy things you ask for, you're like, what would it do if I asked for that? Like what's it gonna do? And like there's been certain things this has done that is not what I wanted, but it's better than I wanted. So sometimes you gotta just like don't give it the parameters. Don't tell it like I need these four sparkles to be parallel and like no, just say I want four sparkles. Let it decide. So like that's what happened in a different experience I'm making. I was like, I want to collect 7 of these, just thinking that they would be behind me, and it turns out they actually like made this cool pattern that then I'm like, oh, like now I can clearly see when I have all 7, and now I want something special to happen if you collect all 7 of these little fancy sparkles. Um, it's kind of like good art teachers will not tell you what to draw. They will tell you um, how to draw, but not what to draw. And then you have to go do the hard part. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. There's been a lot of times where it's come up with stuff that is interesting. Also, one thing to note, I haven't talked about mobile. This is like we should be designing everything to use on mobile and test early, test often. Go make sure it works on mobile. And then sometimes it's going to work better on mobile than it does on PC. And sometimes it's the other way around. But make sure it's working for that. Like I've got a few effects that AI has added that I'm like, whoa, this is better on mobile. This is like, it actually adds like another layer. Like it does something on mobile that it doesn't do on PC that I like. And I didn't put it in there and I think it's awesome. Okay, so let's go see what this looks like. Okay, it is cat emojis. Look at what it added. Welcome to the cat kingdom. And I think it can't, it doesn't register them. Uh, it tried. Thank you, AI. Thank you. It's great. It's great. I mean, I can't see through it. I can't see cats, but it's cool. Um, so you could like you could add a little cat like picture and have it randomly like show up all over this. But for today, we'll just do this. So now you know how to token gate your scene. You know how to make a title. You know how to be like, boo to this title. You know how to end up over there, which we don't want. And you know how to end up over here. It's so weird. It doesn't let me click right away. Um, that transparency. It's just I didn't put colliders on it. But yeah, so hopefully, like, you also got to see me waste like a half an hour. Uh, so please just like as you're figuring this out, just be graceful with yourself. Walk away from the computer if you need to, because sometimes you just gotta like stop and take a break, come back to it. Um, and just try it a different time. But I think like that is enough for me, just understanding that like I have a thing here that gets me to the thing up there. And once I can start seeing that in my mind, that's when I can start being like, okay, now I need, this point A to be, just like, let's make it fun. So you could add so much stuff in that teleport. Like, let this teleport be part of your experience. Like, why not put swirls right there or have like, I don't know, some kind of cool stuff. All right, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to jump in to Decentraland, see if there's any questions I missed. I'm not the expert by any means, like not even close. I've been doing this for a whole like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I can see the potential, and that's enough to make me be like, yeah, let's go. I can also see the potential for breaking it. Oh, it always makes me pause when I come in. So it's gonna take probably a second to load. But okay, so like let me know if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I didn't see them while we were here. So it'll take, yeah, did not see your questions. It's gonna take a second for this to load. Or I might have to restart. For me, for some reason, and I know I have memory issues on my computer. I thought I had them handled, but actually after, yeah, I know why. I had cleaned it up, but then after the CBD big blowout this weekend, I have so many new blend files on my computer and sound effects and GLBs, and I need to just move them off to my hard drive. So once I do that, I think I'll have them back. So thank you everybody for being here. Let me know if you have questions. And if I can't answer them, I'll make something up or tell old guy, hey, people had questions. I would say the other really, really beneficial thing is find somebody you can do this with. Like find somebody you trust. Careful who you trust. Never say an idea out loud that you care about. This place is brutal. But find somebody you trust, because also there's a few other things. Is multiplayer. You've got to be able to like you've got to be able to see this. Like a lot of these effects are not going to work if you can't see them on multiplayer, and you can't test that yourself. Like I told you, Sinful saw what I was trying to do yesterday and I couldn't see it. So actually I have to go back today and be like, AI, why could somebody else see it? But I couldn't. Um, I couldn't test that. It had to do with the lighting effect, and I couldn't test that either in mobile because lighting isn't supported in mobile yet. I think it's going to be. It's just like they're they're getting to it, and I love them, and they're my favorite people because they like supported the other thing I wanted. So I'm not saying anything bad. I'm like, guys, I'm happy for the next year. You guys put impulse items in mobile, so I'm happy as a clam. Okay, so you need to be able to have stuff that works in multiplayer, and y'all can't test that unless you have a good alt or a friend. And so I have a good friend who I trusted with some of this stuff, and I was like, am I a pumpkin? He's like, no, you're still Canessa. Damn it. Okay. Am I a pumpkin now? He's like, no, you're still Canessa. Okay. Am I a pumpkin now? And he's like, yeah, and so am I. I'm like, let's go. We're both pumpkins. And then we spent the next 2 hours jumping around as pumpkins. That was when I was trying to test the ability to like hide the avatar and become something. Oh, let's see. Levy Love Bug. I see. Sorry, I don't know why I'm climbing right up there. Levy, I came in late, first time here. Came from another platform as a creator. So happy I found this. Yeah, Levy, what platform are you from? Because I personally born and raised in Decentraland. I guess I could see that. We should all like we should have birth certificate papers. Like, where did you learn? Like, There's people that learn from Second Life, like Fortnite, UEFN, or Roblox, or other places. So I think it's so beneficial if you learn from other places and you could bring it in here or vice versa, because you're gonna learn. Like don't stay in one place forever. Nobody's gonna stay in one place forever. Don't stay in Decentraland forever. Go other places. You know, you'll realize this is the best. No, I'm kidding. But like it'll make you a better builder. Um, Second Life. Oh, nice. 14 years. That's a long time. Wow. That is awesome. I've only recently gone into Second Life, but I have a friend who was a creator there, I don't know, 20 years ago. I guess she said she made a lot of money off of horses back then. And I don't know what that means, but she was a Second Life horse creator. Um, but yeah, like I think building different places makes you a better builder overall. Um, yeah, a lot of similarities here from Second Life. A few of us started going to Second Life, just trying to get into the parties, and like we were gifted so many wearables, so that was so sweet. Everybody was super nice. They also took care of us because, like, I don't know, like we were kind of scared. We were like, Second Life, you're kind of scaring us. We're like children, sweet summer children, and our eyes were open. Okay, so anyone has questions, let me know. So I would say like sky is a limit with your imagination. Obviously, or today teleport was a limit. Beyond that, I could not get the teleport to work. But there is so much. Like you guys, like you got to see, if you're on ABCs, you got to see some of my early builds, and they were pretty ghetto. Like they were just simple, because like that was that was what I did back then. And now I've been able to do a little bit more. Uh, but it's still a work in progress. It'll always be a work in progress. I do want to go fly my spaceship though. This was this was fun. But the problem with these buildings, you guys, they're such big buildings. The elevators are so long. So now I need to make it like to where you can recall the elevator if you're right here. Because otherwise somebody's going to be standing here and they're going to be like, oh, it's broke. It doesn't work. No, it's working. It's just way the heck up there. And it's like the real world where, Steve got off on the 54th floor and then forgot his car keys. And so he came back and like, we got to wait for him to figure that out. All right. Here it goes. Oh, and the other thing, if you're in this world, sound on. Because like I said, I want to be a Foley artist when I grow up. So you could be like, well, somebody discovered sound effects in vibe coding, because yes, I had to add sound effects to everything. I made it easier to find some of this stuff because I wanted it to be like Easter eggs, but then I think nobody could find it. So here we go. And then if you hit the shift button, it shoots. So I was chasing Sinful down last night. Okay, and then you saw my wind tunnels. There's a wind tunnel. I want to go over to the helicopter. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, and then go zoom out. There we go. Oh, okay, so that is not my land. So, well, neither is this. But Alan was so nice to share it. And now the helicopter. Helicopter is definitely one to leave the sound on. It's oh, and then zoom out. Oh, where's my wind tunnel? Where's my wind tunnel? There it is. So this is just like an AI, um, just a UI over like an interface. And I just said project this when I'm in the helicopter disguise. And so this one is different than the spaceship. Ooh, it's so cool. And I had to make sure it was like transparent background. So just simple stuff like that, I think. Like literally all this is an image. And you can make it so easy. Ooh. And then I go in there and I just said when a player enters this, and there was a trigger box there, change them out of their disguise. And so I also have, um, okay, like if, let's say I was wanting to be naughty and like, haha, everybody's watching this and I can't, um, I can also go in and be like, this avatar name, Canessa, you naughty person, and I can move Canessa instantly to this, which forces me out of the costume. So if I want to be a poo poo head and just keep doing that, Canessa can sit here and keep doing this. Because, yeah. And then this is one thing that I have coded only for me, you guys, because I can't give God powers to everyone. And I can't even show you what it looks like. I can't see what I look like very well. So this is what happens when you give Canessa God powers. This is what I do. I just make a giant creeper. Um, Probably could have done more with my life. My parents would be so proud. But I was like, yes, I have to be something. What would be the weirdest thing? And like Godzilla would be pretty awesome. But if you're a Minecrafter, if you're a true gamers will know. Because like if you didn't play Minecraft, I don't know. Are you a real gamer? Are you? Maybe. All right. And I don't want to drive Dr. Drip's car because that's his, but I do want to show you what it looks like. Look at that. Undercarriage, headlights. Woo! And then I gotta fix M's. I gotta fix all the lighting over here. All right, let's go back over. I think that's kind of like the fun parts. Um, just have fun. All right, and then the quickest way back to Cantina is the tram and then jump. I think that's the thing about having properties so big. You've got to have ways to get around the property. Like you got to get the teleports because you're going to get tired of running and walking. Okay, so that is that. You guys let me know questions if you have questions or like if you're gonna start vibe coding. Just remember like that first part getting set up. It's kind of I feel like that could be a little bit more clear, but maybe it's just different because I've had it open multiple times. And then, oh, also, let's do this. If you're in Cursor and you're like, cool, but now I want to go back and I want to work on these other ones, just go like File and then Open Recent, and you can see all of the different scenes. So, like, now I could go back into the Hex Club, which is where you get the OP badge from, and just open up that. So, that's how you toggle back and forth. Okie dokie. Well, thank you for sitting through. I'm really sorry the teleport thingy didn't work faster, but thank you for being here for another week. And let me know if you have questions. And otherwise, let's keep building some cool stuff. And yeah, let's see. Ready Up Wednesday tomorrow night. I believe. Yeah, we got old guy cooking up something tomorrow night. So make sure you're over at Ready Up Wednesday, and we will see you then. Otherwise, you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you next time. And Levy, it was so nice to have you here. And I want to talk to you more about what you create. Okay, thanks, you guys. Bye. See if I can even remember how to get to OBS. Oh gosh, I need more coffee. It's not working. Nothing's working. Oh, I hope Sinful didn't see that. There, that's why. See, it's not me, it's this. Okay, bye.